What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 50 of Psychotic and Iconic. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Paul's here along with my co-host Nick Theories, Mikey P, and Philly Phil. We want to thank everybody that's tuned in. If you're tuned in to our live stream right now, please share it and spread the word. And with that, I'm going off to Mikey P because he's got a lot of explaining to do.
Real.
Don't we all in some way?
Yeah.
No.
Fair.
It's not just me. Come on now.
I love you.
I went 5-1 this weekend. I don't know what you're talking about.
So did I, dude. The Raiders got me.
4-2.
Who'd you go? Oh, you had Cowboys, right?
Cowboys and Cardinals.
Yeah. I had the
I'm aggressive.
yeah.
You know, I am. I don't play it safe. I don't.
Guys, Godfather's already telling us we look too serious, so
I'm
we
ready to
better
pod.
loosen up
Yeah.
a little bit.
I mean, it's been a minute since Pauls has been here,
Yeah, I'll be good.
so I'm ready to pod and
I'm
get
ready.
after it.
Yeah.
We miss you.
all right,
I mean, we
I know,
prefer
I
to be
miss you
tight
guys
and
too.
shit, but
Whoa, hey, yo.
oh,
Now we're here. We're live. We're in the flesh. So let's rock.
all right, here, I'll get us going now. So, Psychotic and Iconic Sports Broadcast. Wow, we're broadcasting, yeah. Psychotic and Iconic Sports Podcast is brought to you by Prize Picks, your home for daily fantasy sports. New users who sign up for Prize Picks today using the promo code ICONIC will receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. That's the promo code ICONIC. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Check us out on propshq.com where we are live right now. Be sure to subscribe to us there and you'll get news, live stream info, anything regarding our show schedule. You'll see it there. Our Twitter's connected. Our profiles are there. Really cool. Go check it out. Stay tuned though, guys. We have our Thursday show is going to be rescheduled. We're going to let you know on social media. This is so that all of us can be here. Okay. Plain and simple. So we want all of us to be here to talk about playoffs. We will keep you posted. But tonight, wild card, man. Wild shit. All right. Tonight's show, we're recapping the wild card. We're going to have facts or cap. We're going to break down the games. It's going to be insane, all right? Hit it, Philly Phil.
I already did. I pre-jacked on it, but you can go.
well, we just found out episode 50's name.
Yeah, write that shit down. I thought I could hear
love
that
it.
music. I was like, wait a
love it.
second.
I love it, Phil.
Shit, man. Well, you guys know the drill by now, all right? Facts or cap, plain and simple. If it's facts, it's facts. Cap is the opposite. So
I love this segment.
I'm gonna start us off. We're gonna be talking about the losing teams mostly tonight because we're gonna talk about the teams that are remaining more on our next show. I almost said Thursday, but our next show. All right. So first question of the night, we have to start with the Cowboys because, man, I mean, what better place to start? I wanted to wear my bucket cap tonight. I wanted to wear that cowboy hat like Stephen A. Smith, but I couldn't find it. I can't wait to troll these guys. So, I don't know about you guys, but
Oh yeah, I'm ready to
first
rock
question of the night.
on all of these
First
all these
question.
topics.
Oh, I got you. I'll set you up right now, Pauls. You can start us off. Mike McCarthy should remain the Cowboys head coach next season. Facts or cap? Pauls, start us off, buddy.
As an Eagles fan or any fan or anybody that's a fan of a team and you don't want to have to worry about Dallas, you should keep Mike McCarthy. I think it is total cap and he should lose his job because the team is undisciplined. 14 penalties. They do it all year. When you're in the playoffs, your weaknesses get magnified. And boy, did they ever get magnified on Sunday. They're a better team than the 49ers in nearly every position. And for them to lose like that is just inexplainable. But I mean, it was great to watch them melt down again. But as a franchise, man, they're in deep shit because I don't know where they go from here because I don't know how they could get better. And to them to just squander an opportunity this year, because next year they're only bringing in $3.5 million in cap space, and then in 2024 they're slated to be $12 million over. So I mean, you know, Michael Gallup they're going to lose. Trayvon Diggs after next year is going to want an extension. So I mean, their window is going to be really close after next year. So if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm looking for a new head coach.
And you heard the man, Jerry Jones himself. He says this team is too talented to be performing this low. So it was something like that. But there you have it. I mean, but then he says the guy's safe in the other hand. So interesting. But Nick Theories, your thoughts, facts or cat?
Should he remain the Cowboys head coach next year? Absolutely. Facts.
Wow.
He went 12-5. Okay, he had one bonehead play, which really kind of it didn't cost him the game, but you're right. They weren't disciplined enough, Piles. That's correct. I mean, they have 14 penalties. I don't know if you could put that on the refs or whatever, because they do call tic-tacky shit.
The penalties were legit, though. I mean, you got
Yeah.
offensive linemen tackling.
Yeah.
I mean, defensive linemen tackling people.
But the Niners aren't committing any holding penalties either.
I mean, bro, it's the same excuse, though.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
So
the most penalized team in the league.
Whatever. But my thing is, it's fucking facts because he was 12-5. He won the division. They were the 3 seed. And not for nothing, I think Dallas is struggling on offense is because they keep trying to force feed Zeke. They don't have an identity at running back. You can't establish a run. Zeke stinks, cuz. Let's call it what the fuck it is. He stinks. He stinks. He had 10 carries for 29 yards in the playoffs. Where's that energy at?
I mean, those are fair points.
But you got $90 million contract. You gotta be running for 100 yards.
They're stuck.
You have to be running for 100 yards. If you get 10 carries and you get 29 yards, you ain't doing your job.
But this is what I'm talking about, bro.
He looks slow.
They're in trouble. Because
Rather indecisive. For real.
They can't get rid of him, though, for another year or two.
And that's the thing. Tony Pollard, he's been playing way better this year, actually. When he's had the opportunity, he is balled out. So I think the Cowboys' problem on offense is they're trying to get Zeke involved, but he's not that guy anymore. Like, nobody goes to play the Cowboys and they fear Zeke. Can somebody tell me that? Do you fear Zeke? Anybody?
I mean, I don't. I'm not going to sit here and defend Zeke. But he had a torn PCL apparently, so that's one.
So yeah, okay.
Two,
so wait,
Tony
this comes
Pollard
out
definitely.
But this came out after the season.
No, that's the usual shit.
Of
Dallas
course.
is always looking for an
Fuck
excuse.
that. There's
But
no
he was
excuses.
playing hurt, I'm sure.
That's this team, bro.
There's no excuses. Who cares? If you're playing on it, then you are hurting the team. If you are hurt, you are hurting the team. I get it. You want to be a warrior and shit like that. But you're literally, if you can't perform at a $90 million running back and a prime position in the playoffs, then you should not be suiting up. You should give the reins to Tony Pollard in the playoffs because that's best for the football team.
Yeah, but
That's just straight up. That's how I feel.
He's got a torn plantar fascia in his foot, so they kind of like. It just seems like they were out of options there. I'm not going to sit here and defend them though. I mean, listen, you give $90 million to a running back, you better know what you're paying for. The guy, he got paid for past performance, really.
And
I mean, it was never a good deal.
So, Nick, my thing
They
is
don't have an
too-
identity on offense.
Correct. However, Dak Prescott, and you know I love Dak.
He played bad.
Everybody knows I love Dak. I'm not even going to go there about him playing bad. I'm not even going to go there. Now, he did play. He didn't play very well because he only had 143 yards going into the fourth quarter, and then the fourth quarter he threw for 111. So his stats are identical to Jalen Hurts's. However, my thing is he made $75 million this year and is being paid like a top 5 quarterback. You can't lose that game. Those are games that when your running game isn't going, he needs to throw you home.
Right.
And that's what's tough because it's like I don't want to put all the blame on him. Like I would say 30%, 40% Dak, 60 to 70 on coaching because you can't have 14 penalties in a playoff game. Like you had 14 penalties and lost by 1 score.
I agree. And you were home.
And you were home.
Too.
Yeah.
Right.
Like and my thing is you just squandered a great season. 12-5. You didn't even really need to play the last game. You just played it to try and get your guys going. Which I mean, it didn't
That's
really
why it's
seem
like,
to
all
work.
right, just give McCarthy one more year.
That's all he's got if he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They are loaded.
That's the thing.
There's no that's the only reason
They
I'm
should
trying
never
to
lose.
I'm holding him a little bit, Mike McCarthy, a little bit more accountable because that team is built to win now.
Yeah.
Their contracts are established. They have a star wide. They have 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard passer, a 4,000 yard quarterback. It's just there's no excuses.
Right.
A cornerback with 10 interceptions.
I don't know. I just think they lack an identity on offense.
I totally agree.
And I just like, there's no way in hell that offense should be scoring 17 points in a dome. No way.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what.
No
I'll tell
way.
you what, guys. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to say cap. I agree with you, Nick. I'm going to say cap, though. I mean, look, I'm actually seeing a comment right here. It's great. Tom Doherty says, how many third downs transitioned to a first down from penalties? 9 to 10 of them? I mean, seriously, it actually did feel that way. This team, the second half of the season, first of all, they were playing their worst football going into the playoffs. I cautioned this. I was telling you they didn't play anybody good. They didn't beat anybody good since week 6. So they weren't playing their best football in the second half of the season. They were playing undisciplined football, so way too many penalties. The gap at the end, which, I mean, I get it, but you know that there's 14 seconds left. You can't take the extra few yards there. That's on Dak, but also that's on coaching.
Yeah, who
you
called
gotta know
that play?
situational football. You should have had 2 heaves into the
Analytics.
end zone, and you wound up with 0. The
For
game
real.
ends. You hand the football to the referee. I mean, this is just common sense, but this is something that also has to be coached. So, is it Dak's fault for that part? Yeah, but they were unprepared for the situation. They were not good in situational football in a game where they needed it most. They just seemed very undisciplined, and to go backwards after starting the season so well, that's on the head coach too. I mean, I get that they finished well, but they had a cupcake schedule like the Eagles, and I mean that's just period.
Mike,
That's it.
Mike,
you can't. Go ahead.
Real fast, sorry. And you know what else I was thinking of too? Kellen Moore calls all the offensive plays. Dan Quinn calls all the defensive plays. Mike McCarthy isn't doing anything. He should be he should know better. He should be the one
should
getting
be
the guys
pristine.
disciplined. He should be the one managing the clock. His weak spot is clock management.
Yeah.
That can't be. You're not calling any of the plays. So you could focus on the clock. You could do situational football. That's what the head coach is supposed to do. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that loss to me, like, I know Dak didn't play great. He didn't play up to his contract. But, like, those are times where you need a group effort. That's where the team wins, when your quarterback's not having, his best day. And they just couldn't do it because they're so poorly coached. It's the same story. They're never held accountable.
Well, they fell behind 23-7 against a good team,
And they just couldn't do it because they're Yeah. so poorly coached. It's
Hey, I hear you again.
You fuck with my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
You're echoing.
That was my fault.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're definitely poorly coached, but I'm not going to call for his job after going 12-5 and making the playoffs. I mean, I know that they underperformed and stuff, and it's pretty underwhelming for them, as a season. But at the same time, they won 12-5. You got to give them another chance.
It's fair. No,
See
I
what you
agree.
can do.
I mean,
I agree.
here's
I just don't
the
believe
other
in it.
angle. I'm happy that Mike said the names. You said Dan Quinn and you said Kellen Moore.
Yes.
I'm actually happy that you brought them up, because here's the other angle of it. Those two are getting interviewed to be head coaches. They're both possibly going to land a job. If you don't keep them in-house, they're gone. So who do you want more? Do you want the rising coordinators, or do you want the retread head coach who hasn't learned his lesson from, 6-7 years ago? I mean, the same reasons he was fired from the Packers. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I would rather have the rising coordinator.
Yeah, tough spot. Tough spot for Dallas.
I mean, and I have to say the same thing about Dak too. Dak is supposed to come through in these moments. Dak does not play well in big games. Dak does not play well generally against good defenses. I'm yet to see it. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me, but they're not promising. So he's going to have to play up to that level that he's getting paid to be. And he's a top 10 guy in this league, and he shows that he can be an elite quarterback sometimes. So I need to see that in this moment.
Mike,
He's going to be forever judged by that,
And funny thing you say, I saw a funny stat on Twitter the other day. Carson Wentz has 6 more wins against teams with 10 wins or more than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott
And that was-
performs poorly against good teams. That's a bad stat, especially when you're getting
that
paid
was
his
always
kind of
the
money.
argument, Mike.
And everybody knows, like, I'm not bashing. I am a huge Prescott fan. I'm just saying, like, those things over time, especially when you get the kind of money he did, those are things that you're consistently going to hear year after year when you can't get the job done.
He's inconsistent.
Unfortunately,
He's
yeah.
a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get.
You don't know what you're going to get. He comes out some games and you're like, okay,
He's top 5.
He's a top 5 quarterback in this league. And then he shows you games where you're like, damn,
Middle of the
dude, what are
pack.
you looking at? You're a middle of the pack guy getting paid like a top 5
Kirk Cousins.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah, and then
The Jimmy G's, the
Dak-
Kirk Cousins, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's a great point.
Dak and the whole roster too, just making excuses constantly. I mean, that just shows lack of leadership, lack of maturity, lack of poise. Like, the refs are not the reason you lost this game, buddy. I mean, first of all, you're the reason for the referee incident at the end. You're to blame there. But the referees are not the reason you lost this game, okay? You scored 17 points. You're supposed to be an elite offense that averages over 30. Am I wrong? Like,
Nope, that's true.
No, I mean,
the
we talked
referees
about
are
it
not
last
the
show.
reason. You know, Mike McCarthy, too. Take accountability for your team underperforming instead of sitting here bitching about the refs. It makes no sense. It just shows a lack of accountability, and this team is always in this position every single year. Every single year. It's the same story. This year's the year. This year, it's different. It's the same shit. This is why Stephen A. mocks them. It's hilarious. It's the same shit every year. Every year. It don't matter how much talent. It's the same shit.
It really is
It's
the same
great,
story.
though. I love it. I love it. I live off of this shit.
They're like cursed.
They are.
Yeah.
It's the same. It really is the same story. They
might
blow
be.
through the regular season, get to the playoffs, and you look at them and you're like, you just had 17 games of elite offensive play, or just say 12
They
games
might
of
be
elite
cursed.
offensive play, and you get to the playoffs and you don't even look like the same team.
Yeah, they haven't been to an NFC Championship game in 26 years.
Yeah.
Brady went there once.
Nick Foles has more
1 year in the
playoff
NFC.
wins than the Cowboys franchise since the year 2000. Nick Foles.
Jesus. It's a good stat.
4-3.
It's a great stat.
Yeah, this is factual.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy, and I mean, I forget where I was going with this, but I was just gonna say though, it's the curse of Jimmy Johnson. I mean, ever since they screwed him over, look at where this franchise has gone.
Yep.
You know,
Fuck them.
it's
Let's move
gotta be
on.
that.
Yeah, I had enough with the boys.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. All right, next up, guys. This one's gonna get ugly, I'm sure. Cliff Kingsbury should remain the Cardinals' head coach next year. Facts or cap? Get ready to tee off, fellas. Who wants to start?
You want to take this one or me?
You can go.
All right. That is facts, because Cliff Kingsbury stinks. And I don't care that he went 11-6 this year. He stinks. I've been saying it. It's one of the reasons that I wasn't big coming into the season on Kyler Murray, because I don't believe that Cliff Kingsbury can get them over that hump. He got out-coached last night. He got outclassed last night. Go get yourself Jim Harbaugh and put him on that offense and watch what he does with Kyler Murray. Now, Kyler played his worst game as a pro last night. He looked
atrocious.
like that was bad. And Nick sent me a funny text last night. At one point, Odell Beckham had more passing yards than Kyler Murray.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
it's true.
it sucks because, not that it sucks, because I'm not really a big Kyler fan, as you all know. But for him to go out like that is so bad. So bad. He looked shook. He looked scared, not ready for the moment. And to me, when the team comes out like that and you just totally shit the bed, I mean, I don't believe in Cliff Kingsbury. I really don't. And how much more do you need to see? 5 wins the first year, 7 wins the second year, 11 wins this year. Now, granted, they did go up in wins. But as soon as you lost DeAndre Hopkins, your entire team fell apart. Like, not for nothing. Go look what Rick Bisaccia did. They had a lot more issues losing players than the Cardinals did, and he held his team together.
You're right.
That's good coaching.
Yeah.
Facts.
So, to me, I'm just, like I said, I mean, I might have been overreacting on Mike McCarthy, but I'm not overreacting on Cliff Kingsbury. He needs to get the boot if they want to save Kyler Murray and get him going.
Good points, Pauls. Nick, theories. Facts or cap?
It's cap. I think he needs to go. I think he might have hit his ceiling as a coach. It seems like, they started off 7-0, and then they finished it, 4
That was great what you just said.
4-6.
He hit his ceiling.
Like, I think he just hit his ceiling. Like, I don't see them progressing and going to the Super Bowl. Like, even with D-Hop, like, last night, they still would have lost.
He wouldn't have made a difference.
It literally didn't matter. It didn't matter if J.J. Watt came back. It didn't matter who the fuck came back.
Yep.
They were still losing that game. The Rams are just better. They ran the ball down their throat. They couldn't stop them. And Kyler Murray is just he played bad. Let's call it what the fuck it is. He played so fucking bad.
Atrocious.
It's
that
indefensible.
it was just like, I'm calling for the backup, bro. Like,
It was that bad.
I'm getting Colt McCoy warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
38 yards, and with 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter, 38 yards. OBJ had more fucking passing yards than you
That's
in
the
the
best
third
stat.
quarter, and we're talking about an elite quarterback. He ain't fucking elite.
He's got
This man ain't. He is not elite. This man is not elite. He's not an elite quarterback.
How much pressure
You can call it what you want. I don't care about the stats. I don't care about his rushing. He is not an elite quarterback. He's not. An elite quarterback in the playoffs, you elevate your game. When you throw 38 passing yards with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, you're trash, bro. You're a mirage. You're flash. You're flashy. And look, everybody's gonna say, "Oh yeah, you're living in the moment." Blah blah blah. Remember, he ain't gonna get any taller. So good luck seeing over that offensive line.
That's a legitimate
So,
concern.
guess what? We should be questioning his future. We question Wentz's. We question Dak's. We question everybody else's, Garoppolo's. Why? Why they question Garoppolo? They went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and he's back in the playoffs and beat the Cowboys.
Louder.
But yet we're questioning his job. Why? But Kyler Murray gets a pass.
Do you feel that Dak's elite? Is Dak elite to you?
I would say he's a top 10 guy. He's borderline.
He's not elite yet. He's not elite yet. Like, elite for me is you are that guy. You can win the game. You can rally your troops and win that football game, no matter where you're at, home or away.
Totally agree.
That's an elite quarterback. That's it.
I don't disagree with you, by the way. I'm just asking you, though, if that's the way you feel, should we be saying the same about Dak Prescott, who gets crushed in these moments?
You could, but Dak didn't have 38 passing yards in the third quarter. You could play bad, but when you play that bad, bro, I don't know what you want me to say.
So a little bit real fast with Dak. Dak has won a playoff game. He's been to 4. Now I know he's 1-3. However, Dak's been to the playoffs multiple times, multiple years. Like, he has shown more at this moment than Kyler has. I mean, that's pretty fair. Like, you could say that Kyler Murray has a higher ceiling if you want to argue that. However, Dak, up until this point in his career, has shown more than Kyler.
What makes his ceiling higher?
Who?
Higher. Kyler's.
His legs. I'm just saying in totality as the quarterback because he can scramble. However, the last 2 years he got hurt scrambling. You know, he could turn into
He's lethal on the run.
Of course,
I'll give him that.
He could turn into an RG3.
Cool, bro. That's great.
Yeah, but it doesn't win you football.
But when you go in the playoffs, you got to be able to complete passes down the field consistently, accurately, and you got to be precise. You have to. The playoffs are another level. It's not the regular season anymore.
Real fast, I just want to clarify. I think that Dak Prescott's ceiling is higher than Kyler Murray's. I was just simply stating that you could make an argument that Kyler has a higher ceiling than Dak. I don't believe that, but if somebody was to present that to me, I would understand what they were trying to say.
I mean, if you're talking fantasy, then yeah. yeah, then I'm rocking with you, maybe.
I mean, these are all fair points, guys. I'll let you know, though, how I feel here. It's absolutely cap. This guy should absolutely not be the head coach of this football team. This is what we were talking about leading up to the season, that he needed to be better, okay? They were good for 7-8 weeks, right? They lose a couple of players, they look like a totally different team. You cannot, this is the same point I just said about the Cowboys. They were playing their worst football in the moments that mattered most. The second half of the season, they played their worst football. Their quarterback played his worst football in the second half of the season. He looked out of sorts yesterday. He actually, he looked literally scared. I don't want to say the word scared, but I kind of have to here.
He did.
He looked like he was running for dear life, though, and this is the thing, is part of this is absolutely coaching. If you know the pass rush that you're facing in this game, how they couldn't set up Kyler to succeed a little bit better. He was running for dear life. It doesn't matter which quarterback was in there. They were going to get murdered last night. So what we're seeing here, second half of the season with this team, was all of their greatest flaws began to show up more. The offensive line was always flawed, and Kyler was bailing them out all year. Same thing with Cliff, though. He's been a flawed head coach since he's been in this league. I mean, I feel like they were winning games in spite of him. Last year, it was the same thing. They were winning games and performing well in spite of Cliff Kingsbury. Kyler always has to be a magician, and it shouldn't have to be that way. You have to. It's plain and simple. The air raid is not built for the NFL. The air raid offense should not be in the NFL. It does not work. So, for me, it's like you need to overhaul this whole thing. You got too much talent over there. I agree with J.J. Watt saying it's a massive failure because you know what? I feel like that's a shot at the head coach. He knows there's talent there. That's why he went there. Okay? When you say it's a massive failure, and most would have argued that it was not because this team ascended again this year. When you say it's a massive failure like that, that's calling out your head coach. That's my take on J.J. Watt, too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is, though. It's, you could put your running backs in there, Chase Edmonds and James Conner, and put them in there and call more blitz protection packages. If you see Von Miller and them boys getting after him in a half a second, you could call protection in there. That's coaching. Now, I don't think
absolutely coaching.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I'm not that blame is for me is 50-50. I'm sorry, it's not 50-50. It's more on Kyler than it is Cliff Kingsbury. But I've said it since last year and the year before that. I just don't like Cliff Kingsbury. He don't do it for me. I just don't think he's that guy. And what you said about hitting their ceiling, I think you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
They hit their ceiling this year.
Yeah.
Even if they won the playoff game, Cliff Kingsbury is never out coaching somebody and getting them to a Super Bowl. I just don't believe it.
Because honestly,
Dude, not for nothing.
they were a mirage.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
They were a mirage. You go 7-0, then get waxed in the wild card. First of all, you shouldn't even be in the wild card.
No, you should have had the division
7-0.
wrapped up.
Yeah, they were on the road. They struggled down the stretch. They losses to Detroit, that made you go on the road to LA and lose division. Those are the simple games that you have to win in order to put yourself in the best position to advance in the playoffs. They didn't do that.
If you're starting your first playoff game, would you rather be in front of your home crowd or on the road?
Right. I mean, look, the Bucks did it last year, but
that's a different story, bro.
Come on, fam. What are we talking about?
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, well, not for nothing, guys. I mean, this team the entire year was better on the road than at home. For me, it sounds like that's a preparation thing too. Like you should be better at home. The playing conditions on that field are phenomenal compared to some of the places they had to travel. They were better on the road this year. It's completely bizarre. But then the other note is this. I mean, how was Cliff Kingsbury even the best candidate for the job? This guy was average at best in college. There were several other candidates out there that were better than this guy. I don't understand the lore, what made them select him over these other candidates.
He went 13-19 with Mahomes.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how this guy, what reputation? He never was a great coach. He wasn't great at the college level. It was just completely mishandled from the start. And this team does have talent. I think that Steve Keim did a really nice job in bringing in pieces on this team. This team had a lot of flaws last year. They still have plenty of flaws, but they were significantly improved talent-wise this year. So, it's just confusing.
It's tough, man. They're I don't know what they're going to do this offseason. I think Cliff is going to return, but I mean, they start out every year all right. So, they get into September, October, they're 4-2, 5-1, 6-0. That's cool and all. But you start getting into the back end of that season, Kyler goes down a game or two, or you get back to the playoffs again and you get blown out in similar fashion. I mean, all you did was waste another year of Kyler. You're putting Kyler's contract in jeopardy now. Mm-hmm. Because not for nothing, but if you're the Cardinals and Kyler flames out again, how do you pay him? How do you pay him as an elite quarterback? You can't.
I'm not.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. If I'm the GM of the team, I'm not paying him big time money.
You can't do it
unless I had no other option. That is literally the worst thing that can happen. Unless I franchise tag him and then trade him. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, they just normally don't do that in the NFL.
But I would. Why not?
Well, he'll definitely have trade value. Without a doubt.
You franchise tag him, and then they'll fucking hold out of camp.
Yeah.
And then you trade him.
Yeah.
If he's that guy, you'll have suitors.
Yeah.
That's how I
He
feel
would have a
about
long
it.
line of suitors. And I'll tell you this, though, guys. I'll
Good.
tell you this as somebody who's backed him on this show. Mainly, like, one, I had to back him in that argument from the very beginning with Mike. He's not a top 5 QB. He was never a top 5 QB for me this year. There was a month of the season where he was playing like the best player in the NFL, and I said that. I'll take accountability for it. He was absolutely garbage. Make no mistake, he was garbage yesterday. Like, this man was a heaping pile of shit yesterday. He actually might have had the worst quarterback game of the entire weekend, and there were a lot of bad quarterback games. I mean, Jalen Hurts was fucking awful. Dak Prescott was awful, and Kyler might have trumped both of them. All three of them.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hold my beer.
but anyway,
For real.
I want to make sure that you knew where I stood there. The word atrocious might be an understatement. That was how bad he was. It was like a shell of who he should be in this league. That's who he was yesterday. Now, that being said, I'm going to push us along to the next topic because I just referenced part of it, okay? The Eagles need to upgrade at the quarterback position this offseason. Facts or cap? Nick, you start this one off.
I hate this because I was rooting for Jalen Hurts. But the facts are the facts. The man has 6 touchdown passes since Halloween with 5 interceptions. And he's got 5 rushing touchdowns. Is he a quarterback or is he a running back? The guy can't throw the ball downfield accurately. And look, I know some plays he had a couple drops here and there that really kind of affected him. But that happens.
That happens. You can't go.
You know what I mean? Like, so, but I didn't see enough in the passing game for me to be like, okay, this guy is going to be like legit. You know what I mean? Like, he's a great runner, but my thing is just like, he doesn't accurately and consistently put the ball downfield. Like, when you got Devontae Smith and you draft a guy like that, you got to throw deep. You got to be you got to be accurate. You got to be precise. It's shit like that. Like, how does Devontae Smith not fucking get the ball until like the third quarter of the game? How?
Horrible.
You drafted him in the first fucking round. He's your best
games like
wide
this.
receiver, and he didn't get anything until the third quarter. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So there's a disconnect between the quarterback and the wide receiver because the wide receiver is not able to play to his strength because of the quarterback. He's just a bad thrower of the football down the field. And I don't know if it's going to improve, but I just don't know if the Eagles have any other options. Like, that's it for me. You know what I mean? So like, they're probably going to keep him because who else you have? Minshew? I mean, how much do you love Minshew? You would have started Minshew if you believed him he was better than Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? So
Totally.
So my thing is just like, I don't know who the options are, but I don't know. He doesn't impress me. Like, he don't impress me. Where I'm like, wow, that was a beautiful throw. Like, consistently. You're just like, what the fuck was that? You're always saying, what the fuck was that? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot.
Like, more than like, wow, that was an awesome pass. Like, it's just, to me, it's just, he's just really inconsistent at, throwing the football. And, when you have Devontae Smith on your team and he doesn't get the ball in the playoffs, something's wrong.
Yeah, those are all fair points. I actually think that, hold on, let me read the question real fast. I think that's cap. I would give him another year. I think he showed enough improvement that you don't need to rush and panic and blow everything up. Like, to me, if you were to give 3 first-round picks, I don't think the Eagles are just a quarterback away from going to a Super Bowl or competing like that. Like, I mean, if you bring in Aaron Rodgers, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is taking the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
Why not?
I don't think the Eagles are a quarterback away.
You don't think so?
I don't think Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson. I mean, Deshaun Watson definitely not. Deshaun Watson couldn't take D-Hop to the playoffs in his last year.
Well, my thing is this. So if you have Goddard and you paid him $50 million to be
well, I said that was a bad
big
contract.
time tight end.
I said that was a bad contract.
You got Goddard, you got Devontae Smith, you got Quez Watkins.
That's what I'm saying though. Like,
if you had Aaron Rodgers, I think you have a chance.
I don't think
so too, actually.
Absolutely.
I don't think they're a Super Bowl ready team. I don't think they're a quarterback away from a Super Bowl. I really don't.
Hey, they made the playoffs with Jalen Hurts throwing 6 touchdown passes the last 8 weeks.
I mean, that's fair, but they were also averaging like 175 yards a game rushing. They were playing a Titan style ball.
But imagine if you had Aaron Rodgers and you're running the football like that. You're unstoppable.
I mean, that's fair. Those are fair points, but you're not going to run like that because you have Aaron Rodgers. You're going to be more pass happy.
Well, sure, but when you need to run, you can run. And teams ain't going to expect it. So
That's
you're
fair,
going
but here's the
to
thing.
kill them.
Aaron Rodgers isn't getting to the Super Bowl with Devontae Adams. You think he's going to get there with Devontae Smith?
It's a fair point. But
The Packers
I'm saying the Eagles
roster
have a
is better
chance.
than the Eagles
I still
roster.
say the Eagles have a chance.
Correct, but I just feel like they have too many holes. I would take those 3 first-round picks, get defensive players.
Yeah.
You have your second-round picks, your third-round picks, your fourth-round picks. Build a
Linebacker.
team. Yeah, they definitely need a linebacker. But bring Jalen Hurts back next year. See if he progresses. Don't go get a Kirk Cousins or Jimmy G.
No.
Or one of
That's
those
stupid.
mid-level
Hell no.
bridge
That's
players.
stupid. That doesn't make any
Hell
sense.
no.
Yeah, but like I don't care what anybody says. If you think if you trade 2 or 3 first-round picks and put Deshaun Watson on the Eagles and think he's going to be any better, you're mistaken. You're going off of his name. He's not. I have the proof. He blew a 24-point lead to Kansas City, and he had D-Hop in that last year and didn't go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So like I don't and he just took a year off. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So to me, I would give him another year to progress. I wouldn't panic. But why do you give him 1 year? He made the playoffs. I mean, not for nothing. Kyler Murray won 5 games his first year. You know, Baker Mayfield wasn't anything in his first year. Those are number 1 overall picks. Carson Wentz won 7 games his first year. Jared Goff won 3. Nobody panicked. Mm-hmm. So let him develop. You made the playoffs.
Yeah, I get it. But what I'm saying is, should they upgrade? Yeah, hell yeah.
But where would you look
upgrade.
to upgrade?
Wherever you can. If you can get
You
Aaron
want me to-
Rodgers
you
to
want me
come
to
to
take
Philly,
over?
hell yeah.
Yeah,
of
you
course.
can run with him, Mike. To me, I'm bringing Jalen Hurts back next
Are
year
they going to
and
upgrade?
seeing if
No,
he could develop.
they're going to keep him. I agree.
Look, guys, he's not the worst option. Like you could definitely have worse options than Jalen Hurts. The guy has improved every single year in his career. I don't doubt that he will improve again, but just how much? How much for me? So I'm going cap. Guys, it's plain and simple. It's the most important position in the NFL. The Eagles prioritize this position more than any other team in the NFL. I think they're going to be hunting for a quarterback. I always think that they were. I think they were earlier in the season. I'm sticking with what I said. It's not just do I think they should. I think the Eagles will do that. And, I mean, not for nothing, I think it's going to take probably 2 firsts and a player.
Fuck that.
You also can use Hurts as a trade chip. So if you're able to keep one of those first rounders and still draft an entire draft of players, plus you have free agency money, I don't see how they couldn't compete. I think that there's definitely holes to improve. I think they need another wide receiver. They definitely need a linebacker. They need a pass rusher, and they probably need one more piece in the secondary. And, I mean, this can all be achieved through what I just said. So quarterbacks don't grow on trees. It's plain and simple. I have to follow what I saw with my eyes. Every time this guy's back was against the wall and he had to become a pocket passer or just a passer in general, he just can't deliver. He can't deliver. He missed way too many NFL throws. By that I mean passes you should complete to be an NFL quarterback. He missed way too many of them against the Bucs, guys. It was actually mind-blowing. It was almost as if like
Hold on.
he had no anticipation, no touch, nothing. It's hard to believe he missed these throws.
That is
It's like red flag throws.
Yeah, that is a fair criticism. However, it was his first complete season, his first playoff game, and he's going against Bruce Arian and Todd Bowles.
No, I hear you, Mike.
So it's like,
listen,
I mean,
you
like,
could
to
have
me-
worse options.
He's got to get a little bit of a break. Like, we're sitting here talking about, like, nobody's calling for. I mean, it's hard because like I don't want to.
Taylor Heineke didn't care.
What's up?
Taylor Heineke didn't care. He didn't.
He's got passion.
He didn't care.
He's got passion. But I'm just saying, bro, though, like, you have to give him a little bit of slack. He played like shit yesterday. But again, he had identical stats to Prescott, and he performed better than Kyler. We ain't sitting here telling that those two teams need to get new quarterbacks.
Well, you already know what I feel about
I'm going to
Kyler.
pause you because, Mike, let me rephrase this, okay? Because I think he could be a starter in this league. It's just that this is a rare opportunity when there could be quarterbacks on the market that you can acquire. You have to go and get them. Russell Wilson's, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson's, they don't become available every offseason, and I don't foresee a situation where there will be another one of those types available in the next year or two. Because I don't see any college QBs that, I mean, you know, you got the Alabama kid, you got Bryce Love. Who else, really?
I mean, Mike.
Who else you got?
To be fair here,
you gotta draft high to be able to get a guy like that. So you rarely have this type of ammunition that you can deal with and still be able to build your roster despite making the trade. It's more of a situational thing. It's like, I like what I see out there too much to ignore the opportunity to upgrade. It's not that I don't think Hurts can get better, because I do like him. I am very concerned, though, but I do like him.
So I totally understand that. However, my question is on this is, Russell Wilson didn't play well this year with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. If you're the owner of the Eagles, how do you look at the way Russell Wilson performed this year and say he can do better with Quez Watkins and Devontae Smith? You can't be confident.
In reality,
I wouldn't be confident.
in reality,
and you're going to spend 2 or 3 first-round picks.
You already know how I feel about that shit.
This would be the best offensive line he's had in his entire career. He had, 4 bad games, 2 or 3 of them coming off of a career-threatening finger injury. Look at how they ended the season. I mean, it looked much like the Russ of last year. They started off the season looking strong. So, to me, it's like circumstances as well. Russ never had a good offensive line. This would be the best by far that he's played with. And his weapons would have a slight downgrade. I get that. But, you know, with all the other parts around him, I mean, the Eagles' defense is also better than Seattle's the last few years. And that's saying something, because their defense hasn't been particularly great.
Our defense can improve if we get rid of Rich Gannon.
Yeah, well, he might be getting a head coaching job and taking that out of our hands.
Please
but
do.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm confused by that.
You have complementary pieces around Russell Wilson, and you know that he's still able to perform at a high level with many years left. You got to go and do it.
So who would you guys rather have, Tua or Jalen Hurts? Who has a higher ceiling?
Jalen Hurts probably right now, but
Wow.
you know.
Here's the only reason. The only
it's
reason
not
I
like a
lean
lock.
Hurts is because Tua
You guys
gets
are
hurt.
Crazy.
Tua gets hurt. You can't trust his health.
I'll rock with Tua.
He's already had
And
3
I
or
mean
4
by
injuries.
by this much, but very slight. Like, I can't say for a fact, but I feel more confident in Hurts developing into a better starter in this league. Also because he has an extra dimension to his game that Tua does not have. So,
I mean, it's flip a coin.
that being his legs, you know.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
to
that.
pick,
It's
your,
like,
pick your
yeah.
poison.
They're equal
Yeah.
passers of the football right now, you know.
I don't know. Maybe I would take Jalen Hurts.
I actually think Tua ended the year well. It's just he's too injury prone. He gets injured every other game.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't wow me either.
Yeah.
Like,
And the Dolphins took him before Justin Herbert, so the Dolphins
Right.
are in more deep shit than
but
the
if
Eagles.
we're talking about, you know, allowing the quarterback to groom into you know, the NFL a little bit, and, you know, with an extra year and experience, then we got to give him a chance too, right? Like,
Hell yeah, I think the Dolphins should stay with Tua.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Because I think the Dolphins, you know, they've always been looking to move him.
Always. I know.
So,
it's not fair to him. It's
doesn't make
really
any
not.
sense.
It's toxic.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel for him.
guys, they probably will be sticking with him because the one person who wanted Deshaun Watson is out the door. That was part of the reason why Brian Flores is out. They didn't agree on the quarterback. And the Dolphins do believe in Tua. So it seems like they chose Tua and Chris Greer over Brian Flores, plain and simple. I think that actually Tua's standing is improved. Not to make this about him, but I'm going to move us along because we have 3 more teams to talk about, and we're getting close on time already. We started a little late, so we got a little bit of breathing room, but this one actually might be one of the shorter topics of this entire show, so let me get into it. The New England Patriots will be a Super Bowl contender next season. Facts or cap? Interpret that however you choose, okay? Pauls, go ahead.
Oh, this is cap of all cap. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Mac Jones is mids.
Mac Jones is mids is fucking crazy, fam.
He is, though. He's mids, bro.
Jalen Hurts is fucking mids.
I understand that.
The fuck we talking about?
I understand that. But
What?
Mac Jones is some mids. Mac Jones is he's never going to be that dude. He's not competing with Josh Allen and Mahomes and Herbert and Burrow. They're not going to be Super Bowl contenders, man. There's just, he's a good quarterback, but he has a ceiling too. And you want to say I guarantee you Jalen Hurts would have did the same exact thing this year that Mac Jones did with Bill Belichick. Probably even better because he can run. But Mac Jones isn't getting you into a 30, 40-point game and winning. He's just not doing it. He can't do that. So, I mean, they're not Super Bowl contenders next year. No way.
Anytime you have Bill Belichick as your head coach, you have a chance.
What was the score on Saturday night? I forget. My bad. I was sour and stuff. What was it? I'm sorry.
You have a chance with Bill Belichick.
I understand. What was the score on Saturday night? I'm asking a simple question. I don't know.
Oh, you didn't watch the game?
No, I didn't.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's funny. 47-17.
This is what we're doing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 47-17. Yeah, I mean, look, they got spanked. Call it what it is. But New England is always a Super Bowl contender every year. Every fucking year. They are. They have Bill Belichick. You're laughing.
So you're saying facts?
Yeah, facts.
I just wanted to put it on record. That's all.
Look, my thing is this: the Patriots, they literally should have won the division. They crumbled down the stretch a little bit. They lost to the Colts. That was a bad loss. That was a really bad loss for them. And but Mac Jones, give him another year, man. This is his first year. He played pretty decent, but allow him to groom.
Yeah, those are two different questions, Nick.
It's the same shit.
No, it isn't.
We should keep Mac Jones.
Did I say Jalen Hurts was going to bring the Eagles to a Super Bowl next year?
Yeah, but he's in a different situation. He doesn't have Belichick.
Exactly. So
that's why the Patriots are Super Bowl contenders next year, because they have Bill Belichick. Yes, they are. And with the cap space availability, they're gonna be players in free agency again. It worked out for him this year. Look at Matthew Judon and all the other signings he had. They played really well.
I know that.
The Patriots are no joke. Like they're still a good football team. Don't get fucked up. They had a bad game, but they're still a good team. They had a rookie quarterback, so you gotta give them time. And they don't have a wide receiver. Who's his wide receiver? Jacoby Myers? That's your wide receiver, bro?
They got a Super Bowl winning wide receiver on the outside.
That's your wide receiver.
Aguilar. You paid him.
Come on, man.
They did pay.
And he has a $15 million cap hit next year.
I know.
$15 million for Nelson Aguilar?
Don't worry, they got Bill Belichick. They're good.
They have to upgrade. They have to upgrade a wide receiver. They're going to make adjustments in the offseason.
Maybe they'll go get Calvin Ridley.
Because Belichick's a great GM. He could put teams together.
What
do you mean?
His drafting is sketchy.
He has 6 rings.
I know that.
Come on.
His drafting is sketchy, dude. He took Nick.
Oh yeah. Like he can't draft for shit. But I'm talking about GM wise, like him putting the players in on the roster. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I'm with you, dude.
And
look, guys. I'm going cap. I'm going cap. Nick, I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead. You got to wrap up.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, they're Super Bowl contenders every year. That's fucking no cap. So I don't give a fuck.
Oh my god.
I mean, for me, it's actually I'm gonna take a blend of both points from you guys because Nick, I mean, they do have Belichick, and this team they have pretty much everything they need but a wide receiver at this point. Quarterback though, I don't think next year is gonna be the year for him. I think Mac Jones needs another 2 years. I think by year 3 we're gonna be seeing this guy grow into more of a, I mean, mids make sense, Pauls, but I think he's got a little higher of a ceiling than what you're saying in this offense. I think that there's been times this season where I've seen this guy make some really impressive throws.
Yeah, 3 yards away. That's good.
Y'all disrespectful as hell. He was the best rookie
He's got
quarterback
the
this year.
leadership and poise. He's very accurate, and he's able to throw the ball downfield.
Everything okay?
So,
I got a facts or cap question for y'all. Mac Jones, was he the best rookie quarterback this year? Facts or cap?
That's facts.
That's facts.
I mean,
Let me ask you a question.
So he's mids?
So let me ask you a question.
He ain't mids.
If he was on Jacksonville, would he have had the same season? Or would Trevor Lawrence done better in Bill Belichick's offense than Mac Jones?
No, but the thing is, though, Mike, the thing is that's why I do think they could be competitive.
Who? I'm sorry, Michael, I didn't hear you.
I'm saying this is the reason why I do think that he was drafted in the right place, and this is why I actually think he'll be able to grow into a better starting quarterback. But I just don't think it's going to be next year, and I don't think the addition of a wide receiver is going to be that simple for them because they just went out and spent all that money this offseason. I'm sure they're going to go out and make a move, but I think that give him 2 years and he'll probably be ready. I think he should be enough to see that he could take it to the next level in this offense.
Why are you staring at me, dude?
You call them mids, bro.
I just wanted to keep
That's
it 100.
disrespectful. He was the best rookie quarterback this year.
Bro, he was the shiniest turd in the toilet. The whole class was garbage.
It's facts. I agree with you, but like at the same time, he's still the best rookie quarterback in that class.
Right.
And he went to the playoffs.
And got absolutely his teeth kicked in.
And so did Jalen Hurts.
I understand that, but I'm saying he's mids too.
It's whatever. Let's move on. I don't care.
Yeah, let's move on. We'll see. I mean, that was supposed to be an easy one. All right. Next up, guys, we got the Raiders fresh off of firing Mike Mayock after 3 seasons. The Las Vegas Raiders should undergo a full-scale rebuild and blow it up instead of retooling this offseason. Facts or cap?
This is cap. They just made the playoffs. You have Derek Carr. He's only 30 years old. That's a young quarterback in these day and age. And they're a rising team. You have Darren Waller. You got Renfro. Zay Jones played really well. I mean, they're still relatively young. They just need to upgrade on the offensive line and defense, majorly on defense, and get another wide receiver to help Renfro because I think he's a slot receiver. He's not an outside guy.
Ridley.
Yeah, you can get Ridley. I you know what? I was thinking Devontae Adams. Don't be surprised if the Raiders go after him.
Yep.
Because he wants to play with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
That's his guy.
So if they get Devontae Adams, shit.
Yeah, no, I think that's cap too. I don't think they hit their ceiling this year either.
Nah.
Because they almost won that game.
Right.
They were right there in it. I just think that they need to retool, not rebuild. Why would you blow it down? You just got Derek Carr's best season since 2016 when he broke his leg. I mean, this year he played like a top 10. He was awesome this year.
Bro, if you had Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfro, and Darren Waller
and Josh Jacobs. Yeah, no, I actually think that the Raiders they're in decent shape.
Yeah.
They just got to add a few more pieces, which they can do in the draft. And they just got rid of Mayock and Gruden. So one of those two was taking bad picks. So you got out both of them. They were blaming each other, and this one wanted Devin White, this one wanted whoever. So I mean, I would retool and run it back because I think Derek Carr he's good, man. I would say like he's like a borderline star. He is a really good quarterback, and he doesn't get any respect.
He got mine this year.
He earned
Hats
it.
off to him. He had a great season.
He earned it this year. But guys, I mean, listen, I'm going to go cap as well, but I'm going to bring us back to reality a little bit. This team absolutely overachieved. Their point differential, they were outscored by 65 points on the year. Generally, like that's a mid-tier team, like 8-win, 7-win team. They have a lot of deficiencies that they were able to mask. Plain and simple. I just don't think. I think they're going to take a step back in terms of like win-loss next year, but I wouldn't blow the whole thing up because they are still a really young core, and they have a ton of cap, no cap, and I mean the only thing I'll caution you is this: like, besides that, I think that they might have had a flash in the pan kind of season. I think that it's a little worrisome bringing a new GM. You never know what's going to happen. I think that there's a chance that this guy might want to build up from the ground up with a whole new roster, like because they are so young. Maybe he wants to blow it up and get some picks and capitalize on Derek Carr's value because there's going to be a lot of playoff teams that would love to have him right now. The Steelers, for example, So
he would be good with the Steelers, Mike. I like that.
He would be, and this is why I'm saying I caution this because given his ascension this year, the timing of it and everything, and then people also maybe seeing that the Raiders were a middle of the pack team that overachieved, like this is a chance to cash in on some of these guys, and then you rebuild around the Darren Wallers and Hunter Renfro's, and then all the Max Crosby's, those guys. You can still build around them, but new QB, lower cap hit at the QB position, all that stuff.
I don't think they're going to
like
get a new quarterback.
I don't think they do either. I actually think
shot.
if they draft well, they can absolutely get better and be a playoff team. I'm just cautioning you, when you bring in a new GM and the quarterback's over 30 already, there's a real chance that they try to cash in on him.
So here's the thing.
We won't know.
So
we won't know.
If you think Bisaccia should come back, right? And you think they're going to take a step back, he's going to get fired the next year then. So what's the point?
Well, look, actually, Mike Mayock getting fired makes me feel less confident that Bisaccia is going to get a chance. I'm telling you, I told you what I think versus like what I anticipate.
No.
I think,
I get that.
You know what I mean?
I get that. No, I'm with you. But what I'm saying is,
oh, okay.
if you hire him and they do worse next year, there's a real chance the Raiders are going to fire him.
Yeah, guaranteed. He'd only have 1 year.
Is it fair to him?
That's a great point because new brooms sweep clean, bro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it fair to him though?
That's not, bro. That's what's up?
Killed it with the titles,
bro. That's a good point. The new GM.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
So what do you do?
I know, because
does he take the Raiders job, or he says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go on the market"?
You have, dude. Wow.
I can see both sides of it.
Play chess.
For real.
Fuck it. The Raiders want me unless he's under contract. Unless he's under contract, though.
Who?
Bisaccia, but he could still be talked to. Other teams could still contact him, though, correct?
Yeah, they just get first dibs. But
Right.
I don't know. So, Mike, do you know this? If you're an interim head coach, do you still need to... No, you do. You still need to do the Rooney Rule. They can't just hire him. I'm pretty sure they have to interview a minority before they can actually hire Rich Bisaccia. If they were going to stay with him.
They still have to go through the entire interview process. Even if it was just a two-man race, they would still have to satisfy that,
cool.
I believe.
I like that.
So Rich Bisaccia can start
maybe another
interviewing.
team, maybe... Go ahead.
I would.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, I mean, like, if you guys are really, like, breaking it down to that, like, to the GM, then, yeah, hell yeah. I'm saving my ass, too.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you think... But, like, I don't think he's thinking that. As a competitor, he's going in there thinking, yo, I have a great team. We're going to make it far next year. We're going to get better. Like, that's his mentality. It has to be. As a competitor, you have to.
The problem is sometimes when you get GMs like that, they want their own guy. They want the guy they drafted. Same thing with like head coaches, is where it's like, nah, I don't want the leftovers. I want my guy, because when it turns around, I want to say that I drafted that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Ego.
ultimately the
Ego.
GM
Gotta let
is
go of
going
that
to have
ego.
to
Got
share
to check the
vision.
ego at the door if you want to go anywhere.
It's facts. It's true. That's why the Patriots were always successful with Brady and
They check their egos every morning.
Exactly.
I mean, ultimately, the GM's going to have to share the vision of the owner, Mark Davis. So it comes down to, does Mark Davis believe that this team is actually good and can be built upon, or are they a flash in the pan? And we're not going to know until we see who they hire. But that's going to be the vision. Whoever they bring in is going to share the vision of the owner. And it could go either way, because I see merits to both sides, even though I would like to see the Raiders run it back. They're not exactly like the team that would come out of the AFC for me. Like, they're still pretty a ways off from the teams like the Chiefs. So when are you going to be able to get your roster in the shape to be able to compete with a team like that, or the Bills? I don't know if Derek Carr is going to be that good for long enough to be able to get to that point. So
what if you give him Devontae Adams?
As I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm almost talking myself out of saying cap. But I would like to see them run it back first. I think that they still have a young core. So
what if they get Devontae Adams and get a couple pieces on defense?
They're low.
Such as Chandler Jones.
They could compete, like big time.
Chandler Jones on the edge.
They could compete, but they would still be, to me, substantially behind the Chiefs and Bills. They would be like a sleeper team.
With Devontae Adams?
Yep.
They would be a dangerous offense. They would be fucking dangerous.
They would.
Because Renfro is hard to stop by himself.
By himself. And you have Darren Waller,
Zay Jones, and
Devontae Adams, Zay Jones, Josh Jacobs, Carr. That would be a lethal offense.
yeah, like for real. So
they could put together something pretty nice. I'm just saying, there's the other side of it. That's the other side of it. So I'm going to move us on, though, guys. We got one more team we got to talk about. It's the unlikely playoff team. They are who we thought they were, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? And this is an interesting take here, too, okay? It's the same question as before, where we just asked about the Raiders. I'm going to ask you the same question about the Steelers. The Steelers should undergo a full-scale rebuild and blow shit up instead of retooling. Facts or cap?
It's cap. They should not blow it up. They have a young rookie running back who has a great future.
Stud.
They got Freiermuth, who has a great future. Another draft pick. That's two young players at core positions on offense. You have Deontay Johnson. You got Claypool. You got Ray McLeod for what it's worth. Juju's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
He's poop.
But if you could fill in his position with a player that can buy into your system and not be on his fucking phone making TikTok videos, being a distraction to the team, being an asshole, being a jerk off. Like, if you can get good guys in your locker room that actually want to care about winning and put the team first, then you're going to be a better football team. So, again, the Steelers, for me, they're a quarterback away. They're fucking loaded on offense. And I've been saying it all year. And they're a quarterback away and offensive line. That's what they need the most. That killed them. I mean, they gotta get better at the line. That's the bottom line. You gotta protect your quarterback. And they just had a bad recipe of Ben being washed and then their offensive line being trash. But guess what? They still made the playoffs. Why? Because they have talent. They have talent on both sides of the ball. With TJ Watt's a monster. He scored 7 points for them.
I know.
Like, he scored half. The offense scored 14. TJ scored 7. So think about that. Like, he's an impactful player. So for me, it's like they have pieces there to be a great team next year if they can get the quarterback position right and the offensive line. So for me, I don't think they should rebuild at all. So that's where I am.
No, I to go right off with that, I'm totally with you. I would never blow that team up. You have studs all over your offense and defense. The only thing you need to work on is, like you said, get an offensive lineman in the first couple rounds of the draft. You don't need a running back. You don't need wide receivers. Just build your line.
Yeah.
And then Mike, to go back to the Raiders, if that new GM starts searching, why can't you go get Derek Carr? Why can't you? Why can't you start offering for him? All you need is, I mean, like, not for nothing, but you could, like.
There's no way.
What?
There's just no way, because a GM's not going to come in there and just trade somebody that all the fans love.
I know, but I wasn't just saying him. I'm saying, like, you could go, like, Kirk Cousins would do well in that offense. Jimmy G would do well in that offense.
Sure.
That's a good offense.
Yeah.
So it's like, like, now I don't know if those two particular quarterbacks can get them to the promised land.
No.
But, like I said, you can go get mid-tier quarterbacks that'll do. Ben didn't play like a mid-tier quarterback this year. He played terrible.
Yeah.
You just need a quarterback that, when that offensive line breaks down for a split second, you can just get out of Dodge real fast.
Yeah. Just, he still made the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just, like, I'm not even a Kirk Cousins fan like that. I'm just saying, but Kirk Cousins can ball. He could ball a little bit.
Yeah.
He's your average quarterback in the NFL. He would do fine. He would do very
mids.
well. Yeah, he's mids. He would do fine. Jimmy G would do fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, not for nothing, I can make an argument Case Keenum would be fine in that offense. That's how loaded they are. It's just, you just need a little bit of competency at quarterback and some players on your offensive line, and you're set.
I agree.
Already.
Yeah.
Like, Mike Tomlin's, he's never finished the season under 500 in his coaching career.
He's consistent.
He's a model of success. So, I mean, if you're in the Steelers locker room and you think that they should blow that team up, I don't know, or anybody in the world, I don't get that at all.
The problem is it's going to be availability of quarterbacks. So, I mean, I don't know. Apparently, there was a report coming out that they're going to stick with Mason Rudolph. But if they're doing that, then, yeah, you might implode that fucking thing.
All right, blow it up then.
I mean, and but I doubt it's going to happen. But there has been chatter about Mason Rudolph taking the reins.
Hold on real fast. I got an interesting one. What about Gardner Minshew?
He would have been a nice fit in Pittsburgh.
I mean, now here, you have very, very limited tape on him. But in the time that he's played, he was all right. He was all right his rookie year.
I mean, it's better than Mason Rudolph.
Hell yeah! I was comparing it to that. I'm not going off the wall here. I was just comparing it to, if you're going to tell me you want Gardner Minshew or Mason Rudolph, give me Gardner Minshew.
Right.
He's shown more.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mason Rudolph's lucky to be in the league. Number one. Number two, I'm going Cap. But I don't want to minimize the point about the offensive line because I've been screaming that. I've literally been screaming it since the offseason. And the Steelers fans did not enjoy when I said that, but I have to say it again. This offensive line is awful. Like,
they are bad.
Major poop. Major. Okay? Like, worse than the league bad. So, I don't think I really don't know who could have been successful behind this offensive line this year. It would have, it would have held them back. There's no way they would have advanced further. The other thing is, the Steelers have to pay some guys, so they already just paid T.J. Watt. They're going to have to pay Deontay Johnson. So really, like, this all hinges, for me, this hinges upon their ability to trade for a quarterback, because that's literally going to be their only avenue to stay competitive right now. They can't draft any of the guys in this draft and expect to be competitive because this class just simply isn't good enough. So it all hinges on getting a veteran quarterback in there. And Derek Carr actually really, like, I would love to see that. That would be an excellent fit. And that is actually a place where I think you can maximize Derek Carr's ability and be a legitimate contender. Like, I don't know if the Raiders are capable of doing that right now, but the Steelers have a better framework around them right now. I mean, the offensive line, with the exception of that. The other thing that I haven't heard any mention of is the Steelers' run defense. Second worst in the league. I mean, I can't remember a time where the Steelers were bullied on the clock and on the ground. I can't remember a time in my entire life where the Steelers were bullied like that. So they have to improve the run defense. They need to get some run stoppers in there. Devin Bush, too, another young player who I really like going into the season, had a pretty awful year overall. They need more out of him. And they're gonna need some pieces, obviously. But I'm just saying, they're at least, like, exactly what their needs are. It's just a matter of, can they get all of them this upcoming year? If they do, and they're able to manage the cap, look out. This actually could be a team that gets better real fast. Because, I mean, they overachieved for sure this season. So, we'll see. It really all depends on quarterback. And then trench play. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah, but they're in a good spot. They're more in a good spot than they are in a bad spot. I believe anyway.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing: is their young talent, the young talent that they do have, the young core, is all top end type of talents.
Yes, exactly.
So you guys have star quality players out there, guys who you can build around, and actually like that's the difference. The Raiders only have a few of those. The Steelers have them everywhere, and they can mask the deficiencies to a degree. But the one thing that has to happen is offensive line, and you need a quarterback who can throw the ball more than 5 yards. No slight to Ben. Ben's been phenomenal his whole career. It's just a matter of it was time. And he was never going to thrive behind that offensive line. It was just never going to happen this year. So the team overachieved, and they can still be better. That's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. There's not a lot of teams that you can say that about.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
they're beasts.
But I mean, unless you guys have any other points, I think we're good. I think we leave off in a good place here before the next show. What do you think?
Yeah, no, that was a great show. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, me
for
too.
sure.
That was a lot of fun.
The big 5-0.
Oh, I got like 3 or 4 different titles from you. It's great. I wrote them all down.
I had to bring good energy for our 50th episode.
Yeah, you brought it for sure.
Episode 50.
It's crazy, man. Time just goes so fucking fast.
Time has wings.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Before I do the usual and then send it off to Nick, we have to thank everybody for giving us the opportunity to be in front of you right now. Our 50th episode. We've only been here for about 8 months, give or take. We've been live for about 6. So, I mean, we greatly appreciate the support from everybody, the belief in us from our partners, our sponsors. Really, it's been an unbelievable journey. We're having a ton of fun here. We are going to continue. I mean, really, we say this all the time, guys. We're just getting started. Because we really are. We're just getting started.
Facts. Scream it.
We're just hitting our stride. It's playoffs, baby.
I love it.
We're showing up.
Don't scream, the baby's
We're
sleeping.
showing up. We're gonna bring the energy next show too. You better believe that.
I can't fucking wait.
I know.
And it's the playoffs, and we're heating up at the right time. But yeah, major shout out to all of our fans. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna now go to my normal closing. Okay. So this episode of P&I was brought to you by Prize Picks, your home for daily fantasy sports. Okay. New users who sign up for Prize Picks today using the promo code ICONIC will receive a 100% instant deposit bonus up to $100. Okay, that's promo code ICONIC. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. This episode tonight was also live on propshq.com. That's the Props Network. Okay, be sure to subscribe to our show there for the latest show news, as well as anything regarding our live streams, our show schedule, and you can check out our Twitter there as well. It's also hooked up. So go check that out. And then one last thing, just remember, okay, Thursday show, we don't have an exact date yet. We will let you know, but we wanted to be sure that we can have all of our guys available for playoff coverage. So, apologies in advance. I know that the last few weeks we've been changing it up a lot, but we had guys traveling for work, guys getting sick and all, the whole 9 yards, but we are still here. We're making it happen for you. Thank you for just letting us be flexible here and appreciate your patience. We will get back to our regular schedule soon enough, like ASAP. But this week,
Bro, life
take it
happens.
easy on us.
Shit happens. Life happens.
Yeah,
Shit fucking flies
right,
off the
we're
wall.
people.
Yeah, shit happens. Don't you agree, Pauls?
So,
Of course.
Yeah.
It's all about how you handle it.
Control your emotions.
exactly.
Control.
You have
Exactly
to control
right.
your fucking emotions. You taught me that. I'm
So we'll-
practicing it.
Practice what you preach. We that's what we do here at P&I. And, we'll be here for you with that playoff coverage for the weekend, the divisional games. We can't wait to talk about these games. It's a great slate of games. With that being said, thank you so much, everybody. Nick, Theories, take it from here.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. This was our 50th episode, which is fucking crazy. I can't believe it still. We appreciate everything you guys have done for us, supportive throughout the 7 months that we've been rocking. So we thank you again. So just again, as a reminder, we are available on propshq.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher, and YouTube. Also, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and we'll see you guys maybe Thursday at P&I. We'll let you guys know. See you next time.